Now I'm gonna talk about the bad things first because when I talk about games that I really like, I tend to want to get nitpicking and negative stuff out of the way first. This game does not do a good job of telling you where to go sometimes. I've had to resort to using online walkthroughs to figure out what to do next, especially in some of the puzzles. The weird thing is that they offer solutions to the puzzles, but they don't help at all. The solutions are very cryptic and, well, useless. And the insane amount of invisible walls in this game surely don't help either. Also, I wish they would have incorporated more classic Castlevania tunes, but they did manage to get one in there, which you have to be a hardcore fan to discover, but boy, when I found it, it was a surge of excitement and joy I've rarely felt in a game. Now to the good parts, which I have a lot to say. This game's art style is just stupendous. The levels are so massive and so detailed and cool looking that they could have made 80 other games about them. The world in which this game takes place in is gorgeous, and it reeks of a combination of The Lord of the Rings, Pan's Labyrinth, and of course Castlevania. Which brings me to my next praise point. I'm really glad that Konami wanted to do something new and original with this franchise. This is a game that pays homage and tribute to the older Castlevania games, but does something original and fresh and epic at the same time. This game has about 3 to 4 chapters in the middle that take place in a huge castle crawling with vampires, skeletons, and a more strange take on a certain modern Prometheus, which I hope some of you get what I'm saying there. This entire portion of the game takes time to pay homage to Castlevania and is completely dedicated to long-time fans of the series, kind of like a thank you letter. But the rest of the game completely takes a course of its own. I like it when a sequel or other installment of a movie or video game series actually does something completely unique, while not spending the whole time glamorizing and paying homage to the older stuff. Take Superman Returns. That movie spent its entire runtime referencing and parodying the old Christopher Reeve Superman movies, and because of that, it sucked ass. Lords of Shadow doesn't make this mistake. It takes time to reference and address the older games in the series, but it goes its own way afterwards. That takes some balls, and that's why I envy Mercury's team for what they did here. The combat is also very deep and challenging. This is a game that will challenge you. And you must overcome that challenge using light and dark magic attacks along with attack moves that you unlock with experience points. Though the combat can become tedious at times, the game fixes that by throwing new and interesting enemies your way, keeping you immersed in the world of the game for hours on end. The story, I'll admit, it's not the best story you'll hear in a game, but it is interesting, and it's told very well with the aid of some stellar voice work from both Robert Carlyle and Patrick Stewart, who pretty much serves as the game's narrator. And it has a very awesome post-credits movie, which nobody, I repeat, nobody should go without seeing. This is definitely one of those games that makes you feel satisfied in the same way the old side-scrolling games did. Each boss battle is hard and intimidating as hell, but when you kill them, you feel the same amount of accomplishment and power as Gabriel himself. That is what makes this game so epic. This has definitely been a great year for action-adventure games. We got games like Darksiders, God of War 3, and of course Lords of Shadow. If you're a Castlevania fan, you owe it to yourself to get this game. If you're an action-adventure fan, you need to get this game. Well, that's all I have to say, folks. I plan on making another video discussing the storyline to this game, which I'll admit I was pretty vague about in this video, but please leave a comment. Please subscribe to me if you can. I would like to find out if I have some sort of audience. I would like to know if there are people who are watching my videos, which I'm not trying to be greedy or anything, but, you know, it would be nice for all the people watching to actually acknowledge the fact that they are watching my videos and stuff. So, I just want to get somewhat recognized out here on the internet. Well, that's all I gotta say, people. Don't be negative, keep living life, and definitely get the game. It's totally worth it.